I call the member for Melton.
Thanks, Acting Speaker, and it's always a pleasure to contribute to the debate after my great colleague from Eureka, and it's very well done. So I rise to contribute to the Roads and Ports Legislation Amendment, Road Safety and Other Matters Bill 2025. And of course the bill will deliver a range of changes to improve safety and improve the effectiveness of transport laws by amending the Road Safety Act 1986, Road Management Act 2004, Port Management Act 1995, Marine, Drug, Alcohol and Pollution Control Act 1988 and the Transport Integration Act 2010. Of course, this will improve law enforcement practices to improve road safety outcomes, and it also addresses known safety risks to commercial port workers, and it will improve the management of certain road infrastructure projects and implement a range of other technical amendments to improve our transport legislation. And before I continue, I just want to give a shout out to our VicPol members and the great work that they do in trying to keep all Victorians safe on the road. It is a very hard task at times, but they do a fantastic job, and in particular in my electorate of Melton, again, the great work that the VicPol members do, and I thank them for that. Just also, I noticed some in the opposition contributions were going on about the state of our roads. I just want to make reference to 3 road situations in Melton that have improved enormously just in the last 6 to 12 months, and that's the intersection at Coburns Road and High Street. Now it's a lighted intersection, additional lanes, turning lanes. It used to be a big roundabout. It's the biggest intersection in Melton. All the traffic was sort of herded in that direction, and it's just made it so safe. And I would think already there's been a huge reduction in motor vehicle accidents at that intersection only since it's been open 6 months. The other one's at Norton Drive and High Street. Again, another lighted intersection. It used to be a give way sign coming out of Norton Drive onto High Street, which is very busy. And again, lighted intersection and made it much, much safer for the community of Melton. And the other thing is that both the state and federal government committed to a $20 million business case for the Western Freeway to upgrade the Western Freeway between Melton and Caroline Springs. And I'm pleased to say that the Albanese government has committed $1.1 billion to start the upgrade, and the Department of Transport and Planning are already getting underway in where we're going to start that program. And it is a massive program, and it is essential that the Western Freeway will be upgraded due to I think it's about 113,000 vehicles that travel along that corridor every day, and a lot of people in Melton call it the Melton Car Park. So we'll get it done over the next few years, which will be fantastic for that Western corridor. The other thing I want to make reference to was there were a number of opposition speakers making reference or inferences that the state of some of our roads was a direct relationship to the increased volume of fatalities on the road. And I don't accept that at all. I'm not saying that some road conditions don't contribute to some vehicle incidents and fatalities, but there are many, many other factors, and I'll go to some of those other factors in a minute. But I just had a look at the interstate stats about road fatalities this year compared to last year, and every other state, all bar the Territory of Northern Territory, have had massive increases of road fatalities. And just New South Wales alone have gone from 150 fatalities this time last year to 173, so they had a 15.3% increase. South Australia's had a 9% increase. Queensland's remained around pretty close to the same. Western Australia's had a 6% increase, going from 87 deaths on the road to 92. And Tasmania's almost had an 80% increase. So I don't know what the opposition think in regard to road conditions, whether they would think that it's only Victoria that's in the situation that we've got of increased fatalities. But there are many, many factors why, unfortunately, people have vehicle accidents, and unfortunately, in some of those vehicle accidents, people are killed. And of course, throughout my time in ambulance, I've seen many, many horrific road accidents and many, many horrific injuries and deaths through road accidents, and a lot of that have been caused by drug and alcohol affected drivers, and it's very common, drivers and passengers not using seat belts. And for whatever the reasons that people choose not to use seatbelts now, and it seems on the increase since COVID. And I have no idea why people are choosing not to wear seatbelts. It's just incredible. Of course, high speed is another issue. And again, since COVID, we're seeing people driving far more aggressively and at higher speeds. And of course, this is leading to greater injury and a greater number of deaths. We can see in the numbers that since 1970, it's about a 50% reduction in deaths or serious injury if you are wearing seatbelts. And again, people are choosing not to wear seatbelts. So to some degree, they're causing their own outcomes, but that's just some of the things. I know when I started as a paramedic, some of the changes, many of the vehicles, it wasn't compulsory to wear seatbelts. People were going through windscreens, they were hitting their head on the steering columns. Now we have airbags, and the compulsory need for wearing seatbelts has stopped a lot of that. People flying out of vehicles because of the rollovers and things like that. You don't see that sort of thing anymore. That doesn't mean to say people will survive, but they have greater chances of survive if they comply with the road rules and if they comply with wearing seatbelts and things like that. Drugs, drink driving, speed, wearing seatbelts, distraction. The key one for that is mobile phones. If I had my way, I would ban mobile phones being in the cabin of vehicles. I would be putting them in the boot. You can still, these modern cars now, you can do it on the screen. You don't need to be holding your phone. I don't see any need why we need to have a phone inside the car. I think it's crazy, absolutely crazy. And the other thing is that one of the greatest factors that you'll find that will come out through research that's causing a lot of incidents on the road is fatigue. And we're all living busy lives now, and we're all getting less sleep, and it is a major factor in leading to these incidents on the road. So, and of course, road safety reforms in this bill represent a continued focus on identifying areas where our road safety regulatory framework can be adjusted to improve our enforcement, to deter drivers from doing the wrong thing, and to better detect those drivers that are doing that wrong thing. And we know driving while impaired by alcohol or drugs is a major contributing factor to both the road toll and serious injuries. And again, it's pretty simple. Don't drink and drive, don't take drugs and drive. Wear your seatbelt, don't be distracted by a mobile phone, and make sure that you're properly rested. So, and if people start to do that, then we'll have less incidents on the roads. Of course, when the police suspect someone is impaired, they often need to take a blood or urine sample to confirm it, but those samples must be taken within 3 hours of the vehicle incident. And of course, that can only be done, or currently it can only be done by a select group of health professionals and to do those tests. And of course, if the right person isn't available at that time, within that 3 hours, then that evidence and the chance to hold someone accountable may go by the wayside if you can't get that evidence. And of course, this bill will change that. It gives VicPol the flexibility to assess one over 2,000 plus collection clinics across Victoria when seeking qualified health professionals to take a blood sample, which is great. Of course, a range of other offences in the Road Safety Act 1986 also seek to reduce injuries and fatalities on Victoria's roads. And some of these offences are detected by the way of road safety cameras. And I know everyone seems to think that these cameras are just revenue collectors, but they're not. They do slow people down, and there's no doubt about that. But not only slowing people down, there's the red light cameras, they're the distracted driving offences, of course, again, on camera if you're using your mobile phone. And again, these are things that you shouldn't be doing. You are breaking the law, and people need to be detected because we've got to keep other people safe on the road. So if you want to disobey the road rules, then you need to suffer the consequences. So, and of course, these cameras do a great... 30 seconds ago? Okay, these cameras, do you want to get on, do you? Oh, okay. No, it's a really important bill, and the great member for Point Cook, I think, wants to get up for the last 30 seconds, so I commend the bill to the House.